Just want to welcome everyone to this presentation on an axe to grind, how to pick out your first guitar. So we're going to start off with a little bit of icebreaker. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hide this real quick so you can't see what we're doing here. And we're going to play a little game. I'm going to see if you can guess who these songs are by just listening to them.
Nicole?
Ah, good answer. Correct. You get a guitar pick.
Awesome. Oh, he pitches it to the audience.
Okay, we've got two more.
Oh, no.
NXS.
Yeah, NXS. Yeah.
You get a guitar pick. One more.
Foo
Fighters.
Yeah, Foo Fighters.
You may know the name of the song.
Oh, crap.
Higher.
Give me baby one more time.
Okay, so we're going to give, since you already got a guitar pick, we're going to give you a guitar pick. Okay. Those are guitar sounds.
I guess too, but Jennifer. Too louder than me.
Okay, my name's Mark Patrick. I've been playing guitar for about 10 to 15 years. And this is just a nice little way for you guys to, if you decide you want to start playing guitar, how to pick out the guitar you might want to learn. So, you've seen our little short icebreaker with the music. Hope y'all enjoyed that. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with, I'm going to see what's the reasons you guys might want to start playing guitar. Anybody?
So for a hobby.
For a hobby.
For me, it'd be a way to to interact with my children, to help, kind of do something together.
Like a little bit of interaction.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I've always wanted to learn music, and I've just never done that. So just having a skill to.
Anybody else? How about just a way to de-stress?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of other reasons you could probably want to learn, but that's a good little start for us. So, we've got hobbies with kids, learn music, and a way to de-stress. So let's start looking at some of the types of guitars you might want to play. There's really three. There are some variations of the three, but we'll just start with the three. That'll probably just try to keep it a little bit simple. Okay, so the three types of guitars. We'll start with acoustic. Here's a little clip of an acoustic guitar. And this is an acoustic guitar. Now they come in different shapes and sizes. Sometimes you can get a little bit smaller one. This is a standard size guitar. It's a standard 6-string. They come in 12-string versions as well, but probably for a beginner you want to start with the 6-string. Next type of guitar is an electric guitar. And there's a sound clip for an electric guitar. here is an electric guitar. They also come in 12-string versions, but for a beginner, I would probably recommend a 6-string. We'll talk about more about amplifiers and effects here in a minute. And the third type of guitar, which most people probably wouldn't think of these as a type of guitar, but they are, is the bass guitar. And there's a bass clip. And this is a bass guitar. Bass guitars usually come in a 4-string version. For a beginner, I would start with the 4-string version. They come in 5, 6-string, even an 8-string, but I would probably stick to the 4 to 5-string guitar. To the bass guitar, sorry. Okay, so let's talk about accessories. The acoustic guitar, you don't need an amplifier. You don't need an amplifier. So you can buy an acoustic guitar, and that's really all you need. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The other things are picks, which some of you got with our icebreaker. Picks come in different thicknesses, sometimes different shapes. Right here we have a little bit thicker of a shape. This I would probably use if you were going to play pick with a bass guitar. All shapes and sizes. They even have specialized picks that do different things. But really, it really just depends on what you're most comfortable with. Another thing you might need is a shoulder strap. Now, we actually had one on the acoustic. I won't take it off of here, but just something simple. It doesn't have to be expensive. Something simple. They have these at Guitar Center and other music stores. Now, here's something you might want to look into if you decide to get a bass or an electric and you don't want to buy an amplifier. Amplifiers can get big and get expensive. So in this case, we'll look at an effects processor. Now, what you can do with an effects processor is you can plug the guitar into it. It has lots of different amp sounds, effects, and you can plug for this processor. You can plug headphones into it, so you won't disturb your neighbors or your family members if you decide to practice at home. And they come in different prices. This one was probably about $100, so you don't have to spend a ton of money. Cables. If you're going to have an effects processor, you're going to have to use a cable to plug into it. Plugs into the jack on the guitar for an electric or a bass. You plug them in and they work great. So here's some things to consider if you're going to try to buy a guitar. Is you want to consider the cost of the guitar. They vary widely, but you want to get something, if you think this is something you're really going to want to do and you're going to want to stick with it, maybe go ahead and spend a little bit more. You can get a cheap guitar for $75 to $100, but maybe you want to spend just a little bit more. Size of the guitar. You guys are all adults, so you don't need like a 3/4 size or a half size guitar. These standard size guitars will work just fine. Music type. Now this is really your personal preference. I'm a rock guy myself, although I do like to play my acoustic quite a bit. However, this is where the bass guitar comes in. If you decide you want to play bass, some people just gravitate towards that a little bit better. Not a problem. In other cases, just go with the electric or the acoustic. Okay, so the next thing is, so now I've picked out my guitar, what do I want to do? Well, you have to decide if you want to invest in lessons. There's lots of online resources where you can use that have lessons, and they're really, some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for, but it's really a good place to start with the online community we have these days. Online lessons are awesome. All right, so does anybody have any questions?
In regards to the lessons, I guess kind of one of the major things nowadays with technology and whatnot, I think it's called Rocksmith, right? It's a way to pick up guitar and to learn. Is that the right route to go, or you just still think that going with a active teacher or professor to learn guitar is the right way to go?
I think it kind of depends on how much you want to invest in it. I've seen Rocksmith. I actually have it. I've never used it yet, but it's actually, from the videos I've seen, it's actually a really good tool. If you're not sure if you want to do this or not, maybe go ahead and get it. If you have a friend that has it, borrow it from them, test it out. Music lessons are always a good way to go. Find a respectable teacher. You can do reviews off of Google or whatever, and just find a respectable teacher in the area. Like I also said though, they also have, there's lots of online communities that have free lessons, and there's some even lessons you can buy online, so.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else?
Where should I go to buy my first guitar?
I would probably, being your first guitar, I would probably stay away from a pawn shop. I would probably go to somewhere, a reputable music store like a Sam Ash or a Guitar Center. In this area, guitar centers are quite prominent. I would probably go to a Guitar Center because they have guitars you can sit down and practice and see, okay, this one feels good, this one doesn't, and you kind of decide which one you want to use. So I would probably go to a Guitar Center, probably stay away from used guitars. If somebody has an old guitar they want to give you, that's another cheap, great way to start. Anybody else?
You were talking about prices earlier, and you said you could get some for $75 to $100. Like, say you're a beginner and you want to get, good quality, just not high end. What would be a reasonable price to pay?
That's going to be pretty wide and varied. For me, my first guitar, I think I paid about $125 for. And it was kind of a piece of junk. I didn't quite do my research like I should have. I think a good place to start would probably be to go to like a Guitar Center. They can kind of point you in the right direction, especially nowadays, because they'll have kits where you, like say you want to go with them, like even acoustic or bass, they have these kits that are all in one. They come with, in an electric or a bass situation, they come with a guitar amp, they come with a bag, they come with picks. It's kind of an all-in-one little setup. If you think it's really something you want to do, then go ahead and spend a little bit more. You can get, for example, an Epiphone guitar for about $400. There's a great starter guitar. Paul Reed Smith also has kind of a starter guitars in the $200 to $400 range. So I would probably lean towards that. As far as acoustics, Alvarez is a good brand. Takamine, Gibson. Some of them get a little more expensive. I would probably stay closer to the $200 range on an acoustic. So, very good. So I think that's all the questions we had. So just in summarization, it really depends on what you want to pick out. There's three types of guitars. We have the acoustic, which you can just sit down, turn around, grab it at your desk and play anytime. You have an electric, which requires a little bit more work. You have to plug it into something to be able to hear it. Even iPhones have an adapter that you can plug into and actually listen to nowadays. So that's a nice little tool without having to go buy a big, expensive, or even smaller amp that you have to put in your office or somewhere else. And then you have your bass guitar, which I would, if it was me, I would probably lean towards an acoustic or electric to start. Although bass, you have fewer strings, it's probably easier for a beginner to pick up. So that's also a good one to try. So I want to thank you guys for coming today. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye. Yeah.